Go woke. Going woke is always a great way to alienate your customers. If a game developer wants to be woke, I'm fine with that. But don't go woke. Let me explain the not so subtle difference. If you're making a video game about a pansexual non-binary hipster barista who has to run around Portland playing bongos, selling weed and smashing up small businesses during protests until he's earned enough points to set up a vegan cooperative cafe where the local police are all banned from eating there and nobody gets charged for their drinks because capitalism is evil, then wokeness will be right at home in the game. Knock yourselves out. Nobody will complain. There will be no uproar. Gamers won't revolt or be angry with you. Mainly because they won't play that game. Well, they might play it ironically or on live streams, but you get my point. But if you are making a sequel to an existing game with an existing customer base and the game is a gritty competitive action war shooter, well, don't go woke on your target audience because they don't like that shit. You see, marketing departments operate under the assumption that because wokeness has become more fashionable now, things will necessarily become more woke in the future. Therefore, they assume that the next generation of consumers will be even more woke. Ad infinitum. They plotted a trajectory of gaming subculture based on highly sophisticated science. Like this. The past. The present. The future. So there is some logic behind their behaviour, even if it is really, really stupid. The marketing department thinks they are pissing off their audience now, but they are grooming the future woke gamers of tomorrow. Sadly, however, they fail to appreciate that people like this don't play games like this. And they can feminise the characters all they like. They can have 76 different genders in the character creation screen and turn it into a wokegasm. But they are appealing to a demographic that does not like to stay up until 4 AM, blowing people's heads off with machine guns. They also don't realise that there is a huge growing backlash against wokeness, and it's highly likely that the next generation of gamers will swing back right the other way and become so incredibly socially conservative that they will play video games in salons and wear business suits while they do so. Seriously, the backlash to wokeness is gonna be huge. I'm talking deprogramming care facilities set up to reintegrate SJWs back into being useful members of society. You know, like what they do with former cult members. Sadly, or fortunately, DICE didn't do such a great job with going woke on Battlefield 2042. Although in their defence, they stripped out so much of the content there wasn't much left to transform into a woke statement. They haven't got rainbow coloured gun skins, unicorn mounts or kneeling MVP animations. Yet. But give them time. They did get rid of nation states and removed the global scoreboard in order to eradicate performance-based performance. I guess that removes the competitiveness. Half of all the combatants are female, which, whilst being historically ridiculous, is, in my opinion, entirely defensible in its own strange way. I mean, looking at the state of a lot of the men of fighting age these days, frankly, recruiting more women into the armed forces would probably raise the average levels of testosterone in the barracks. But I digress. In its sum totality, Battlefield 2042 is considerably less woke than many shooters right now. However, removing the global scoreboard is such a significant attempt to remove competitiveness that this, on its own, is fairly chilling. Think about it. This is a video game where you score points by doing stuff, but they decided to hide the player's scores from the players. This is a very dark road to go down.